Hi. I'm going to turn a little more light on. Oops, here we go. So I have, I'm going to be interviewing Asher Stern, which is exciting. And I have his music in the background here. So I'm very excited about that. Hi, Allie. Thanks for joining us. Hi, Mary Lou. Yeah, so Asher Stern is going to be joining us here. I have his music on in the background, which I will turn down. You probably can't even hear it very well since I've got my earbuds in. And he should be joining any minute now as well. So, hi, Sarah. So good to see you. Yeah. So I just have to wait a moment for Asher to join me. Yep, there he is. And then I should be able to, oh gosh, Asher Stern. Add to request to join as a guest in your broadcast. Oh, that's so interesting. Some people I can and some people I can't. So, hey, hi Asher. So, so interesting. Are you on an iPhone? Because it's not allowing me to add you. It's interesting. Some people can be added and some people can't, and you are in the can't category. Hi, Jackie. So I don't know if you are you on an iPhone? If you can let me know that, or because some people try to join on their computer and I don't think it works. I'm gonna like your message. See if that helps. Put you higher up in status. Okay, let me see here. Thank you, folks, for being patient. Invite friends to watch. That's not what I want. Guest request. It's interesting. You are not on the options for an option to add to the. Should I try my phone? No, laptops don't work, Asher. It has to be an iPhone. So yes, please get on your iPhone. Okay, here we go. Approve. It's adding you now. So here he comes. There we
Hey,
go. Yay. Hey, there we go.
how's
Are
it
you
going?
on? Good. Are you on your phone now?
Yeah,
Or okay. So I'm just still figuring out the technology slowly
me
but
too.
surely. But so I think it does have to be two iPhones in order for it to work,
Gotcha.
is the difference. So yeah,
Learning every day.
we are learning every day, which is great. Yes. Thank you so much for doing this. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
I'm
Thanks for the invite.
actually, yeah, I'm actually like really emotional because I was just watching the video on the teddy bear campaign.
Oh yeah,
It's beautiful.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. My
very
friend
powerful.
Senyika put that together. He's was it the music video where he's doing like the spoke? Yeah, super
Yes,
powerful.
it's very powerful. So what we can maybe circle back to that
Yeah,
at some point, but we're here today to talk about like affiliate marketing and your journey and to learn from you. And I think as a first question, so we've never met in person and we've talked very little. We just had a little chat on the messenger. And and I've heard about you for quite a while, for sure.
oh
And
really?
yeah,
Cool.
especially, so I'm a parenting coach. And so I remember Elena's just tribute to you about how
Mm.
helpful and supportive you were with the parents or the people who were in New Zealand, and how helpful you were with their kids and so forth. So that, I mean, I'm always attuned to that kind of stuff. Like, yeah, dad who's just all in there, which is
Yeah, no,
great.
there's one gal that she lives in New Zealand and she was there with her like uh, definitely under a year. I mean, I don't know how many months old, but little tiny guy. And I was just, I mean, I got two kids and I miss how, just scrumptious they are when they're little.
Right,
So
right.
she was there by herself with the kids. So I was just like, yeah, picking them up a bunch and
Oh, that's great.
yeah.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
So I would love to hear what your journey has been. Like what brought you into affiliate marketing, first of all? Like how did this come into your life?
So, like as I told you in our chat, I'm gonna try to do my best to to say the same message in a shorter amount of time.
Sure. I'll channel you if I need to. So
Please do. Yeah. It's something I'm actively working on in my leadership and just in my life, just saying the same message with less. But basically, I was in a really dark place and was working a job doing life insurance, and
uh-huh.
you know, about 6 months into a divorce or separation, we haven't quite done the paperwork yet, but um, and I was seeing my kids a day and a half a week. And for me, like
Wow.
I've been working at home for the last 10 years, and then I did that job, and so it was like I've been a very like involved father, and I love being around for everything. And so
Yeah.
for me, that was really, really hard. That was the hardest part about everything. And so I quit that job, and then I was simultaneously seeing posts online from my friend Elena, who you brought up, and I was just intrigued by what she was doing. She was in Australia at some Freedom Fest, and I was like, that sounds amazing. I want
Right.
freedom, and I want
Right.
to go to a freedom festival.
Right.
And and one of the speakers at that event really stuck out to me. His name's Wanpa, and he just seemed really pure, and his energy was really clean and clear. And so I started
Hmm.
following him on Instagram, and he was offering a 21-day detox, and I had gained 80 pounds last year doing that job, um, and just
Wow.
yeah,
That's a lot. Yeah.
I gained about 40 pounds just from the lifestyle, which was sitting in the car, sitting on the
Right.
phone, or sitting in the house.
Yeah.
And I was literally working 6 days a week, 12 hours a day, and hustling. And so I would just eat whatever was cheap and quick. And then
Sure.
when I quit smoking, then I gained another 40 pounds, because it was like, as long as I don't smoke a cigarette, and I was eating whatever and
Yep.
drinking a lot and not, just not taking care of myself. And so
Yep.
this 21-day detox really um, intrigued me. And so I simultaneously quit the job, started doing I did the detox, and I was detoxing so hard that I had to cancel all my appointments, and I just never went back to the job. So
Wow.
yeah, it was intense. But right when that happened, I saw these posts by Elena.
So just can I just ask, just to be super clear, the detox was just like strictly a health detox, like
It
from
had nothing to do with this business.
diet and yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, just
it
there's
was
different kinds of detoxes, so I just want to make sure we're clear on what kind you were
yeah,
talking about.
this was one that he was doing. He is kind of his own little program, and I've done a lot of different detoxes and water fasts and all kinds of stuff like that. But this was just a different. I benefit from having like something that I invest in to hold me
Yeah,
accountable. Like, when I put some money in the game, it makes me like,
right.
well, I spent money on this, so I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
So, but the reason I brought that up was because it played a role in me stopping that job and
Uh-huh.
deciding to walk away from it, because in that detox, I was also detoxing my spirit and my emotions, and I realized that job was just not in line with who I am and what I wanted out of
Right.
life. Like,
Yeah.
the money was great, but I wasn't seeing my kids, and for me, like, no amount of money is worth missing out on them. I want to be
Right.
there for every fart
Yeah.
if I could, you know. Well,
So,
I'm just saying.
only
Oh,
a dad, only a dad would say that. I love that. And Elena just joined us actually.
hey,
Hi,
Lena.
Elena.
But yeah, so simultaneously, I saw her making these posts, and so I reached out to her and I said, "What are you doing?" And she sent me a link to a webinar, and I watched the webinar, um, and then she guided me through that process. Here's the link to jump into the platform, and I jumped in, and I went through the discovery process and found out about the high ticket offer, and that
Yeah.
was for me. When I watched the video on the products, I was like, this is it.
Yeah.
And this is attraction marketing, right?
Hmm.
And I was in like the darkest place I've ever been, and like actually ready to kill myself. I wasn't going to, because I got my kids, but that's how dark I
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
And so I, it doesn't make sense that I joined a business where you are attracting people because of who you are. Like, because I was like, am I allowed to cuss on this? live?
Sure,
Or
go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm a piece of shit. I just want to make sure I'm a piece of shit. So why would anybody follow me? That was what was going on in my
Yep.
head, but my
Yep.
heart was saying, go here. And so I listened,
Uh-huh.
and it was really clear. Like a lot of times, like I feel like it's hard for me to distinguish what my heart and my head are saying and who's who.
Right.
But this was really clear because my head was saying, no, you shouldn't do that. And my heart was like, go. And so I jumped in, and I jumped all in.
Wow.
And
So you really jumped in before you were truly ready in many ways.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was like I said, I was really in a dark place.
Yeah.
And but I was already doing something that was like I wanted health. I wanted to
Yep.
step out of where I was. I was desperate for something, and the universe provided. It was
Yep.
just perfect timing. And so I jumped all in, and through that whole discovery process was asked a lot of questions about like what do I want out of life and what do I want to create, and really amazing process, the discovery process. And for me it was
Yep.
like Elena was like, it's 14-day money back guarantee. So it was like, okay, worst case scenario, this sucks and I don't want to do it.
Yep.
But I found through it that it was really speaking to me. And so I just dove in, and yeah, and the cool thing, I had done network marketing before, and I felt
Uh-huh.
like there's like always that skeptic in me that's like, this is too good to be true and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
But what amazed me was that I didn't get on the phone with Elaine at once. She just pointed me here, and I went through the steps and was like, this is amazing. And I jumped all in, and I'm so glad I did, because now I'm actually happy. And it's not, the business isn't the reason I'm happy. I am the reason I'm happy, because I
Yep.
chose different things, but the business pointed me in direction, and put me into a tribe of people that like pointed me towards the light, in a
Yeah.
huge way.
Yeah.
Got me a life coach through the business, through the tribe. And he gave me a new morning routine that just like saved my life, literally.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you tell us a little bit about that morning routine? I think that's huge. I found that to be huge for myself as well, of just like starting your day and getting yourself set up for the full day in the morning has been just a game changer.
Yeah. Yeah. So at the time, and even to this day, I'll wake up to messages from my ex, and they at the time they would really like bring me down. It was really hard.
Uh-huh.
And now a lot I've got a lot more tools to be able to handle that energetically. And one of them was this morning routine. So basically it was, start the day off like, don't touch my phone.
Yeah.
Don't allow those messages. Because with my insurance business, I would wake up to messages with like a sale that I just made that got canceled, or
Sure.
and so I'd start my day looking at my phone. I think it's pretty, a lot of people do that now. It's like your
Right.
phone is your alarm clock.
Absolutely.
It's my alarm clock. So,
Yep.
it goes off, and I pick up my phone, and I haven't even gotten out of bed. I'm already on Facebook, and I'm already looking at emails, and I'm already getting all this stimulus from the outside, and not
Yep.
really starting here.
Yep.
So the first thing was turn the phone off. Don't engage with the
Yep.
outside influence. And then, it was basically writing, for me, was writing down my intentions,
Uh-huh.
for, in particular, with this business, because he was part of this life coach is a part of this business. And so he was helping me kind of guide to how can I build this business, and also
Sure.
me as a person. So I was setting intentions about the business, and not just like the rank that I want to hit, but like, what does it actually look like? What does it feel like? And really envisioning it, and
Uh-huh.
acting, like writing it down as if I'm already in that place.
Yep.
And so I would write that down, and every day was a little different, because I just kind of, I would, for me, I really value pen to paper. It
Uh-huh.
it helps me like really take things in a lot differently than just saying it or closing my eyes. So I would do that first, and then I would close my eyes and do a meditation on that intentions, and like really try to step in and embody that intention, so as if it's already happening. And then I would write down, there's a book called The Magic, which is a
Uh-huh.
pretty circulates around in the community quite a bit, and it's a great book on gratitude. And so this is the part that actually really truly saved me, which was I don't do all the things in the magic, but what I really took away from it was the gratitude rock at nighttime,
Uh-huh.
using my gratitude rock and saying what I'm grateful for, and in the morning writing down a list of 10 things that I'm grateful for. And sometimes all I could be grateful for was the piece of paper I was writing on, or the pen that I was writing with. Like I
Yeah.
was in a dark place, but
Yeah.
I was fishing for whatever I could to be grateful for. And I focused on that. And so you say, write down, I'm grateful for my computer because I can get onto the internet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And
Yep.
that's kind of how you set up the gratitudes. And so I do that. Then I would read 10 pages in a good book. Right now I'm reading The Way of the Superior Man, which has been really an amazing book for me. But just something that's going to help me sharpen my axe, so to speak.
Yep.
Um, and then from that place, then I would start my day. Then I would look at my phone. Then I would start doing the activities, the business, or responding to whatever. And that really, and I noticed the days that I didn't do it, the effect that it had on me, as
Yeah.
opposed to the days that I did do it. It wasn't like all the problems went away, but I was at a lot more grounded place to be able to handle them.
Yeah.
Whereas when I didn't do it, I was a mess.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that was huge.
Yeah. And Elena just sent a note saying, I don't mind missing my kids' farts.
Touche, touche.
Yeah, exactly. And hi, Emily. That's great. Well, one thing I'm thinking about the people who might be watching this and thinking about, like it might sound strange or intriguing or interesting. Like, why is there this focus on gratitude and a morning practice and setting intentions? Like, what does that have to do with a business? Like, can you, yeah, address that?
Well, like I said earlier, this is attraction marketing. And
Uh-huh.
so if I didn't do that stuff, then I'm just, whether I do it or not, I'm coming from a frequency. We're all attracted to frequencies. We're living in a certain vibration and frequency. And so whatever that vibration or frequency is, we're going to be attracting that.
Yeah.
And so for me, this business is 80% working on me and
Yeah.
20% doing business. Most of what I do with my day is focusing on making myself better, becoming a better version of myself, really stepping into the perfection that I was born into.
Yeah.
We were all born perfect, and then we learn otherwise with all the crap. And so for me, that's why it's so important, is because if I'm running at a low frequency, then I'm going to attract that. And I don't want that.
Yeah.
I want high vibrational people in my business. I want to be dealing with people that are creating amazing content and really adding value to the marketplace, and not just throwing throwing out their emotional vomit or whatever,
Yeah.
and complaining. Like I don't want that.
Yeah.
I got enough of my own BS. So
Right. Right.
it's really important for me to, no matter what I'm doing, to be at a higher vibration, because I want to create that. And so
Yeah.
yeah.
So that's fantastic. And I can't stop thinking about the how you went into this business and just you were in this dark place. Like what would you say to someone else who, whether or not they're in a dark place, like what I'm not sure what I'm trying to say here though, but like that was a huge leap of faith that you took, I would guess, to like just to jump into that. So what was that like for you to have that leap of faith, and how did you just how did that develop for you even? Because like, people who aren't in a dark place might have a hard time making that leap even, and you did it from a dark place, so that's amazing.
Well, again, it was like listening to the heart, listening
Yeah.
to that inner voice that says, do this or don't do this. Like my mom, it's so cliche, but my mom, when I'd have trouble, my mom was like my best friend. She's also a spiritual coach for people, and she's just an amazing, amazing human.
Huh.
And she does this business as well.
Huh.
She's on my team, and
Oh, that's amazing. That says
yeah,
a lot too.
And my little sister and my older sister, they're all on my team.
Wow.
Yeah, because they saw the transformation that happened for me, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, there's something here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess it was just I can't really say anything more than it was just like I felt the calling to just go there. Like I listened.
Yeah.
My mom would always tell me. I remember what I was saying. My mom would always tell me, "Listen to your heart." When I was trying to, asking her like, "What should I do here?" And she's like, well, "Listen to your heart." I'm like, "Oh, that's not the answer that I want because I don't know what my heart is saying and what my head is saying, and they're both really loud and they both are saying which one's which. I don't know."
Right.
This one was really clear because, like I
Wow.
said earlier, like logic. I'm definitely a spiritual person, but I'm also really up in my head a lot of the time, and so logic is, it's like it's very clear to me like what's logical,
Yeah.
and what was logical was not joining this business. It was not logical at all. So that's
Yeah.
why it was so easy for me to just like to tell what was what, because it was like I just felt that energy. It was like this is where and like I said, the 14-day, like for me, it's like logically, like 14-day money back guarantee.
Yeah.
Like I can jump into this and see what it's about. Worst case scenario, I get my money back. Not a big deal. I'll lose some of my time maybe. And what I found through that process is like even if I hadn't continued and gotten into this business and said, hey, I want to get out, like I would have gotten a lot of value out of that discovery process because it really
Hmm.
does ask you a lot of amazing questions about yourself and how you want to show up with your life.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it was really just listening to the heart and following the intuition that was just saying go here because I was desperate for something that um would give me more time with my kids and allow me
Yeah.
to like now being a single dad, and like I was always the provider, the breadwinner, and I had the benefit of being able to go home to my kids, and my ex-wife was taking care of the kids, so I didn't have to worry about childcare. Now it's like I got to pay all the same bills,
Yeah.
but I have the kids half the time, and I don't have, and I want to be in their life. I don't want to be doing something where I'm trading my time for money,
Yeah.
So this was just like I got to try something else.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's helpful or what,
Yeah.
but
It's
that
very
that's the
helpful.
answer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And speaking of time with kids, like, what does your lifestyle look like now in this business? And as a single dad, and you're working in this business, like, what kind of time do you have with your kids? What kind of freedom do you have? What kind of commitments do you have work wise? Like, what does that look like on a day to day basis?
Yeah. So I'm also a musician by trade. I
Uh
play
huh.
music at weddings, wineries, private parties, and when I quit the insurance job, I went back to my music.
Okay.
And I love
I was also playing some of your music before you got on too.
oh,
So
right on. Cool. But yeah, I got back into my music, and then I picked up some bartending shifts when I moved back to Santa Cruz, just kind of doing what I could. But now I'm not at the bar anymore. I've got gigs here and there. I also shuck oysters for Build a Oysterman. I got a shirt here.
okay.
Um,
Okay.
I love oysters, and so I do the same thing with oysters as I do with music, weddings and wineries, and just we have a mobile bar and do that. So I'll do those kind of gigs every now and then because I love that kind of work.
Uh-huh.
And I also have just from the divorce, I have a ton of debt that I just want to put all the money that I'm making from this business and get rid of that debt. So I'm doing other work as well, but when I'm with my kids, I'm with them. I'm with them
Yeah.
half the week, and I'm not really doing anything other than being with them, and
Yeah.
that's like for me everything. And
Yeah.
like my daughter's in third grade, and she goes to school just a couple blocks away from here. So my son and I will walk her to school. Usually I'm in my pajamas still, and I'll just walk her over there. I got no shame. Um,
I'm learning that.
Um, but and then my son and I will come back to the house and we'll just play and have a good time. And if I do have to do some business, I can do it here. So
Yeah.
I'll like sometimes. because I don't have, I can't play like the handoff with the ex. I'll put them. Sometimes I'll put them in front of Netflix, which I rarely do. But if I really have to do something,
Yeah.
I'll keep them entertained that way, so I can get what I need done. But for the most part, I'm just with them and doing fun stuff. We just went to the pumpkin patch yesterday. Um, I got some huge pumpkins, and we were going to the boardwalk all the time. Got season passes and going on rides and
Okay.
take them to the park and just have fun. Then
Yeah.
when they're not with me, then I usually have some gigs, catching up on my business, and but yeah, I mean, as long as I got Wi-Fi, I'm in business.
Yeah.
So and even if I don't have
That's
Wi-Fi, I got my phone, which has cellular data, and
right.
so yeah,
Right.
I'm in business anywhere I go.
Yeah. And that's amazing with especially with what you said, how you want to spend time with your kids, you want to be with them. And coming from when you were in insurance, you only had, did you say a day and a half a week with them? Or like that's very little for someone who wants to actively be with their kids. Yeah.
Yeah, it was horrible.
That's
I hated it.
huge. Yeah. That's a huge, huge change. Yeah. So, and when did you start in this business too?
Um, Very beginning of April.
Okay. Okay. Great. Good for
Yeah,
you. And so, are you going to make it to Australia to a Freedom Fest?
I don't see why I won't. Yeah. Um, I actually just got back a couple months ago. I was in Queenstown for the
Yeah.
Mark Lack training,
Okay.
and I ended up going to Australia because I was like, I'm already gonna be out there that far. I might as well go to Australia too. And I got to
Good
meet
for you.
a lot of our tribe out there. So that was really
Fantastic.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
But yeah, I mean,
So,
I plan on traveling a lot, because I love travel. That was the other thing, is like I don't want to be stuck here just working my butt off. Like I want to travel. My little sister, she's in the business. Um she's in Bali right now with her two kids and her husband, and
wow.
they're traveling for 6 months.
Oh my
Um
gosh.
and yeah, like that's what's possible. It's unreal.
That's
But
amazing. That's really
that's what I want to be
amazing.
doing. I don't have the ability to just take my kids for 6 months. I gotta,
Right.
like, but I'll do a lot of traveling. They'll do some with me
Sure.
for sure.
Sure. It makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, how did you get involved in this teddy bear campaign?
Okay.
Just
So
yeah, just going back to that.
yeah. So the teddy bear campaign is run by a friend of mine named Sanika, and I met him. I did the Bridge experience, which is, if you go to thebridgemethod.org, you can
Uh-huh.
get information about that event. But this couple, Preston Smiles and Alexi Panos, I don't know how you pronounce her last name, but they are an amazing power couple. I think they're late 30s. They've been to every single personal development thing you can go to. They've read all the books. They've
Uh-huh.
gotten certified in a lot of areas like NLP and breath work, and um, there's a whole laundry list of stuff that they're certified in. So they've got a ton of expertise, and they've taken all the little bits and pieces that they loved about everything and put them into their own event that they call the Bridge Experience, the Bridge Method.
Uh-huh.
So there's a couple layers to it. And so I met Sanika when I went to the Bridge Experience down in LA last June. And he was one of the supporting coaches there. And so
Uh-huh.
we've been in touch, and he started this campaign to help pass legislation for universal gun laws. And so I
Sweet.
just went to the second phase of that Bridge Experience, which is Extreme Leadership event. And
Uh-huh.
that was, lived up to the name Extreme. It was intense. It was a lot of, basically like shattering the ego and opening the heart, and just like really
Mm-hmm.
stepping into a new improved version of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody that is looking for something to really transform their life, I highly recommend the bridgemethod.org. Check
Okay.
out their events.
Okay.
But the beginning of that Extreme Leadership event, which was just last weekend, I'm in a room of 40 people that are all there like me. And the first thing that they did was give us an assignment, which was to raise $20,000 that weekend for a cause that we all agree upon. And then we had to do all these other things about it. Um, and I brought up the idea of doing, a guy named Sean, who also knows about the campaign in San Diego. He brought up the idea of doing teddy bear campaign. And when he said that, I was familiar with it. And I'm close with San Diego and was like, yes. And that we rallied and got the whole group to align with
Oh,
that
wow.
campaign to do this challenge.
Yep.
We didn't hit the 20,000, but I think we got about 12, and we
Okay.
only did that in like a day and a half.
Wow.
Because there was a lot of alpha leaders in this group, so there's a lot of like this stuff going on in the
Sure.
beginning. But we
Sure.
finally got our stuff together, and the campaign is still ongoing. So we're going to hit that goal. It just didn't happen in the 3 days, but
Sure. Sure.
yeah, it was. I mean, as you saw, that video is just so powerful, and
Yep. Very powerful.
for me, I used to be very vocal online about politics,
Uh-huh.
um, and I've shied away from that, and kind of I'm more interested in showing up like I do now, which is really spreading content that helps people.
Yep.
Because I feel like people either care or they don't care about politics, and they feel the way they do, or you know, they. I don't think I'm going to change too many minds about that kind of stuff.
Yep. Yep.
So I've been very quiet politically online, and especially around guns. From a previous business I was in, I became friends with a lot of people that like the whole spectrum of people, all the way to the left, all the way to the right, and so um, I don't know. With guns, like I feel the way I feel about them. I don't really, I don't own a gun. I don't need a gun. I don't want to tell people they can't have them, but this is crazy. Like, I don't
Yep.
feel safe having my kids in school. They were just
Yep.
at the Gilroy Garlic Festival the day before that shooting happened. Um,
Wow. Wow.
and so for me, when I saw this campaign and I watched his video, I felt very aligned with it,
Yep.
um, and I felt comfortable reaching out to my communities. Just because it's not about taking guns away from people; it's about getting universal background checks.
Yep.
At the core of it, there's a lot more to the campaign, but that's it, and like that's
Uh-huh.
the end game, the end
Yep.
goal. So, um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Great. Thank you. And hi, Scott. Nice to see you here. So, yeah, I think we're going to probably end here just to keep things as short as possible. But I love, you can really see how this has changed your life and just given you more and more opportunities to change your life in so many areas. And I just so appreciate you sharing that with us.
absolutely. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it's even if I didn't make a dime, just the community that I've been introduced to and the new family that I feel like I have, not that I
Yeah.
feel like I have, that I have, is I would have never seen it coming online like
Yeah.
that, but like it's
Right.
connected me in the real world with real people, um, all the way across the other side of the planet,
Yeah.
and it's just the beginning.
Yeah.
So like I know a lot of people feel alone,
Yeah.
and um, if nothing else, like just tapping into a community like this of conscious entrepreneurs it's amazing. And I've been in a lot
Yeah.
of sales groups before. There's nothing as heart centered and amazing as this one that I've
Hmm.
experienced. So
Wow.
yeah, I feel very fortunate and excited about sharing it you know with the world.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It really shows in your passion for it, for sure. So thank you so much. Really appreciate your time here today.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Yeah,
you
thanks for
take
having me.
care.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
and
too.
maybe I'll meet you in Australia one of these times.
Where do you live?
I'm in Colorado.
Oh, cool. I grew
Yeah.
up in Telluride.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah,
wow. That's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
So perfect.
Well, cool.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right,
Enjoy.
you take
Have a
care.
good day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I don't even know how to end this. Here we go.